Welcome, thank you for joining me. This is Yoga Restore with Lisa Ruh Yoga, and today we're doing a neck and shoulder tension release session. So it's going to be a full hour, and here's what it would be great if you had a foam roller and a therapy ball. Some people out there have these dual balls, that's great, or a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball. I have two different size therapy balls here. I do a lot of therapy ball work, so I have a lot of options. If you only have a roller or you only have a ball, that's fine. You're going to be able to get through the myofascial release with one or the other. You definitely don't have to have both. So let's get started. Let's start with your foam roller and lie onto your back. Bend your knees, your feet are flat, and you're going to bring the roller behind your base of your neck. Oh, that automatically feels good. If you don't have a roller, you can put a therapy ball back on, or two balls on the back of your skull, or kind of move it around. It's not quite the same. You might just want to lay with your head flat. Let's just connect with our breath here. We're going to start with some myofascial release, and then get into some yoga, some nice deep stretch yoga poses, focusing on our shoulders and our neck. So to begin with, just settle in. Relax your shoulders. You've got the roller at the base of the skull. Your chin is slightly tucked. You'll notice that when you press with your feet, it increases the pressure on the roller. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. You can keep your eyes closed for all of this. Connect and stay connected with your breath and with your body. I'd like you to slowly begin to bring one ear towards the roller or the mat and the other ear toward the other side. So we're just rocking our head side to side, kind of like a little no. So we're going to begin with myofascial release with the foam roller and the balls. What we're trying to do is to apply some compression to our muscles and the connective tissue to tell and encourage the muscles and the connective tissue to relax. Make some circles with your nose. Lift your chin, lower your chin, and to warm up the muscles so we can get ready for some deep stretching. Always mindful, especially working with the neck, we work slowly. We're going to go quickly through the exercises, but we're not going to move quickly through the exercises. We're going to go from one fascial release exercise to the next because we have a lot of ground to cover. But I don't want you to move quickly when you're actually doing the exercise. I want you to maintain your breath and move slow. Move slowly. Okay. Set your roller off to the side. Grab a ball. And I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to put it under my left side, my upper shoulder, my shoulder, between my neck and the top of my shoulder bone here. And you will know when you get there, you'll feel it, and you're just going to rest your head back down onto the mat. Arms along the sides. We're going to work on the upper trapezius. So you're going to lift your hips up into bridge and lower. Draw your belly button into the spine. Make sure your knees aren't flailing out or dumping in. They just are going to track right straight forward. Just a lift and a lower. When you lift, you can even do a little press with your feet and feel some nice pressure for that muscle there. You want to move the ball around till you can feel this. Like a tight muscle that's back up at the top of the shoulder blade maybe. And maybe if you reach up, you can just feel the top of the ball kind of sticking out from your, at the top of your shoulder here, but it's not on your neck. And then lower the hips down. Now we're just going to lift that left arm up, back of the hand comes towards the mat, and then slowly come down. If you feel any nervy sharp pain, sharp twinges, anything that feels like numbness, you need to stop and get off of that area and move to a different area, or just move to a spot where you're not feeling any nervy sensations. You want to inhale as you extend the arm overhead, and exhale when you bring the arm down. And we're going to combine the two. You're going to lift your hips and lift your arm. It might decrease your range of motion, and then lower. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift the hips, extend the arm. Exhale, lower the arm, lower the hips. Okay, let's go to the other side. So I've got the ball under my right. I like to call it trapping the trapezius. So I'm sticking that ball up there, and it feels good just to rest. You'll know when you're on there. I want you to really find a tense muscle that's going to really benefit from this movement. So lift the hips and lower down. You can really see the shoulder to hip connection as to how this really changes how your shoulders feel just by lifting up the hips and increasing the amount of pressure that's on that ball. So now you're gonna just raise and lower the arm. Slow, like you're moving through molasses. And if you find a particularly sticky spot, just kind of hang there, maybe wiggle the ball around. Just do whatever feels good. You can also just do funky arm movements. Just do whatever feels good in there. Then you're going to combine the two. You're going to lift your hips, raise the right arm up overhead, and then lower down. And then lift with the hips, and then lower. So do one more, and then roll off to the side, take the ball out. Roll over to one side, press yourself up, and let's get back onto the full roller. So I'm going to lie on my left hip, and lie on your left or your right, doesn't make a difference. The roller is parallel with the top of the mat, perpendicular to my body. I'm going to bump my hips back to the back of my mat so that and I'm going to pull my elbow back, my left elbow I'm pulling back. I'm going to rest my head in my hands. I'm going to bring my knees forward so that they're in line with my hips. And the knees are going to stay connected. I'm just going to roll forward, feel the top of that pectoral muscle, and then roll towards the back. You might want to scoot your roller back a little bit so that you have more, if you have a short roller like I do, so you have more roller. Plant your elbow down, kind of pull it back. We want to keep the spine in one line. And we're working the underside of the shoulder. We're going to work the underside, the front side, and the back side. So we'll do a couple passes here. And then notice what it feels like to press the roller a little bit closer to your elbow and get the top of the back of the arm. Roll back and forth. I'm just on this left side. You can release the left arm long and bend and extend. And see how that feels. Moving nice and slow. Great, now I'm going to roll onto my belly and flip. I'm just going to bring the roller over to the other side so you guys can see what you're going to do. You're going to hug the roller right onto the side, staying on the arm that you were on. You're hugging the roller right into the side body so that the front of the shoulder is on the roller and it's right down and almost right in line with and touching your side body and your hips. Bring that arm out to the side. You can make a fist with the other hand and rest your forehead down, or you can just bend your elbow and prop yourself up on your forearm. So I want you to internally rotate by pointing your palm facing back, and now we're going to roll from left to right and roll out the front of the shoulder. So now if you don't have a roller and you're working on a ball, you can definitely use your ball here. And even if you're on a roller, you might not be feeling this very much, you can switch it out and go to a ball and accomplish the same and go into the same movement to accomplish the same thing. You're going to put the ball on the anterior deltoid, that's the front of the shoulder, and then you're going to roll side to side, and then pause and see if you can go thumbs up, thumb down, palm forward, palm back, and do a couple more passes here. And then let's switch to the other side. So yeah, grab your ball, keep it close. You can either do this with the ball or the roller. So now I'm going to put the roller, I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to put the roller underneath my right armpit. I'm pulling my elbow back so that it's in line with my shoulder. I'm pulling my hips back so that my spine is in one line. And I'm going to roll forward and back and forward. And we're looking for little spots that might need some love. If you find a spot that really needs it, you can just hang on it. Stop rolling, stop moving, and maybe just bend and extend the arm. And once again, if you press the roller away from you, you'll get the more part underside of the back, top part of the arm. If you pull the roller more towards you, you're gonna get top of the rib cage, some of those intercostal muscles. And then you're gonna roll onto your belly, hug that roller into your side body. I'm just gonna switch sides. It's underneath your right arm. Your arm is an extension of the shoulder. Relax your legs. Internally rotate the shoulders so palm faces back. And then just roll from side to side. And then see what it feels like to maybe sweep the arm. All the while with a little bit of pressure, so we're on the front of that shoulder. Thumb up, thumb down. And just like on the other side, if you have a roller and a ball, feels really good to get that ball in the front of that shoulder. It's very different than the foam roller. It's actually, you have to press with your hands and regulate the amount of pressure that you put on there. The ball can really get in there. You can also move the ball over and you can work around your collarbone and you can get the top of that pec as well. I could just sit here and do this all day long. We have a lot of yoga to do, so we're gonna move on. Okay, so let's set the balls and the rollers off to the side. We're done with those. If you're watching this as a replay on Instagram TV, you can pause this and you can just keep rolling this out and then continue on with the class. But for the sake of being live, we're going to start with a seated position. Actually, grab your roller if you want to. Sometimes the hardest thing is for people to sit in a comfortable seated position. You can straddle your roller, you can sit on your roller and cross your legs. You can not sit on a roller. Whatever you want to do, we just want to find a comfortable seated position. Great. We're just going to put our shoulders through a whole bunch of all the different ranges of motion. So bring your arms out, palms face forward. Reach your arms back, palms face up. Come forward, bring the backs of the hands together. Inhale, open wide, arms are wide, like you're kind of like rounding around a big beach ball. One more time. Inhale, open, palms face up. Exhale, round, kind of curve through the upper back and the backs of the hands together. Bring your arms out like a goal post and bring your palms to face down. Forearms are parallel with the earth. And then maybe back a little bit and forward and down and back. And then bring your arms up. Overhead without flaring your ribs. Bring your palms to face out and then swim your arms down till your fingertips touch the mat and reach up again. Palms face out. Exhale, fingertips down to the mat. And we'll bring our arms out, palms face forward and cross them in front. Left arm over right or right arm over left. And then open, draw your belly button in, don't let the ribs flare. Press back, open your wings, and then come across the body. Other arm is on top. Great, and then slowly release. If you've propped yourself up on a block or a bolster, take that off. Sit on your knees, interlace your hands behind, hips are on the heels. Interlace your hands, clasp your knuckles together. Inhale, lift your chin, try to bring your knuckles all the way to the floor. Big neck stretch. And exhale, bow forward. You can release your palms palms and try to pull your fingers apart. Try to get your crown of your head down on the floor. Pull up with your knuckles and overhead. And then lift, and we'll do that one more time. Try to connect your palms. Inhale, knuckles to the mat, chin lifts, belly in, ribs in, and exhale, bow forward. And then slowly rise, and we'll do a quick wrist bind, and we'll do Batman. So bring your arms out in front of you. They are an extension of your shoulder. First, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. This is what I don't want. Now drag your shoulder blades down and keep them down. Increase the space between your ears and your shoulders. Cross your right arm over your left. Face your palms together. Make a fist. If you've shrugged your shoulders, bring them back down. Inhale, bend your elbows. Bring your fist towards your chest. Exhale, extend your arms out long. Try to keep your palms connected as much as possible. Inhale in towards the chest. Exhale, release out long. Let's do this one more time. Wrist tension, finger tension can travel all the way up the arm. And then come back, arms back out. Other side. Left arm over the right. Face the palms, make a fist, drag your shoulders down. So tight wrists, tight forearms can travel all the way up the arm and manifest itself in tight shoulders and tight back. So pull your belly button in. Inhale when your hands come together. Exhale, arms are long. One more time. Inhale, bend your elbows. Exhale, try to squeeze. One side, this side's a lot tighter than the other. I'm right-handed. And my right hand is on top, although it looks like my left hand to you. And my wrist is very tight on that side. Okay, release that, shake everything out. Let's do one more pose to kind of open up the wrists and open up the fingers. So make an okay sign. So you're connecting your thumb and your first finger. We're going to do Batman. So slowly begin to bring your 3 fingers back towards your face, palms up towards the sky. Bring the 3 fingers down between your ears and your bottom of your chin. And then bring the circle that you've made up and try to get the base of the thumb up onto your forehead, above your eyebrows. Draw your belly button in. Now, shrug your shoulders down, draw your elbows down and back. And breathe. Batman. So we're stretching out some nerves in the hand that can help with carpal tunnel, that can help if you wake up in the middle of the night with numbness in your hands or your forearm. And then slowly release, shake out the hands, and we'll do a shoulder sweep. So come on down onto your side. I'll lie on my right side with my right arm under, directly out from my shoulder for a shoulder sweep. My left hand is on top. So if you want, you can take your roller or any other prop that you have and you can support your head if it bothers you having your neck down on the mat. So once again, bump your hips to the back so that the back of the mat and bring your knees forward, and I need you to squeeze your knees together. So inhale, lift the left arm up. Watch it open, so you're gonna look over to the left, but you want to take this top hip and roll it over and keep it stacked and over to the right. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, come back together. So we inhale to open. We're following, our gaze is following our thumb. If you find a particularly sticky spot, kind of hang there. Flex the wrist, draw the fingers back towards the elbow, maybe make some circles. Take an inhale, and then in an exhale, come around. Now the other way we're going to do it is we're going to squeeze the knees, keep the hip rolled forward, the top hip rolled forward, and now we're going to open up that top arm, but we're not going to follow it and turn our neck. So this is going to be a much bigger stretch. Inhale here, exhale, come back together. We'll do this one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Roll over onto your back. I'm just going to switch sides so you can follow me. Roll over onto your back and go to the other side. Line up your spine. Make sure that the extended arm The hand, the wrist, and the elbow is in line with the shoulder. Bring the top hand on top. Left ear is on the mat. Squeeze the knees together. Roll the right hip forward. Keep it there. Inhale, open the top arm. Press the hand that's on the floor down and slightly away. And you want to watch it and follow it. Get a nice big neck stretch here. Open as far as it'll go. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, come back around. I really let my top hip move on that one, so I'm going to try to squeeze my knees together and think about squeezing my knees. That's much better. And it actually limits my range of motion by a lot by keeping my hips stacked. And come back around. Now this time we're going to do the same thing, but you're not going to follow. Your ear is going to stay on the mat. You're just going to open. And if you find a real great spot that feels so good to stretch, make some circles with your wrist one way. Circle the other, maybe draw the fingers back towards the elbow. And then come back around. So do one more. And take a nice big inhale when your arms are open wide. Big front shoulder stretch. And then exhale, come back around, palms touch. Roll onto your back for reclining palm tree. Extend your legs out long. I need to move my roller out of the way. And bring your arms up overhead. So cross your left leg over your right. Bump your hips to the left and pick up your head and your arms and bring them over to the right. So the feet are to the right, the arms are to the right. You can grab one wrist and give it a little pull. So point your plantar flex your ankles, you're pointing your toes. And pull with that top hand. So my right hand is pulling my left hand. I'm trying to make a C shape with the side of my body. Heavy hips. Inhale here. And exhale. And walk back to the center. Uncross the legs. Cross the right leg over the left, bump them to the left, hips go to the right, and the arms go to the left. Heavy hips, maybe grab the right wrist with the left hand. Big, maybe point the toes, big stretch, heavy right hip, and then slowly release, come back to center, bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest, make some circles with your knees, rock from side to side. Plant your feet on the mat, drop your knees over to one side, press yourself up to a seated position. Let's come to a tabletop position, all fours. Curl your toes under, stack your knees over your hips, your wrists over directly underneath your shoulders. Plant your pinkies, pull your thumbs in wide. We'll do a couple rounds of cat-cow, changing our hand position. Again, stretching out the hands and the wrist. Drop your belly, lift your chin. Cow pose. Exhale, round, tuck, and curl. Chin to the chest. Come back to our starting position. Palms face up. Fingers face back. So let's tap into our Ujjayi breath. Seal your lips, breathe in and out through the nose only. Inhale, spread your fingers really wide. Big arch in the spine, big lift to the chin. Exhale, press all 10 fingernails into the mat and round, tuck, and curl. And then come back to our neutral position. Palms face down, fingers face out. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, cow pose. Exhale, round, tuck, and curl. Press the hands, don't do the spine. Press your knees. Big arch in the back. Come back to the neutral position. Now see if you can get your fingers towards your knees and a slight bend in your elbows and flat palms, same thing. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, round, tuck, and curl. And come back to our starting position here and see if you can bend your elbows towards your knees as you press your palms down and forward. Feel a nice big wrist stretch here. Good. Untuck the back toes. Let's just sit back, make a fist. Circle your wrists out one way, circle your wrists out the other way. Maybe shake them out. Come back to tabletop. Ground down through the right hand. Lift the left arm high. And then slowly thread the needle. So drop that shoulder down, left ear to the mat. You can extend the right arm out in front. Plant the right hand. Reach up again and extend. Left arm is up. Now bend your elbow, bring your fingers back by your ear. And open and twist and lift the elbow high. And then take that left hand and bring it to your low back or scoot it all the way around to the front of the right hip. And twist your shoulder that way. And then slowly release other side. Down to the left hand. Reach the right arm high. Thread the needle. Bring the right arm under, back of the shoulder is on the mat, right ear is on the mat, hips are high. Heavy armpit. Inhale here, exhale. Bend your left elbow, bring your left hand onto the mat. Reach that right arm up high again. Bend the elbow, bring the fingers back by the ear. Inhale, reach, try not to let the hips go, reach that elbow up, and then bring the back of the hand to the low back, or reach it around to the front hip crease, and widen up through the shoulder. And then slowly release, bring your hands to the mat, walk your hands a few handprints forward, knees are wide, big toes touch. Child's pose. Keep your elbows lifted. This is an active child's pose. You can even pop up onto your fingertips and press them, drag them, press them forward, drag them back, and feel a big stretch to the front of the chest. And plant your hands, rise up to all fours, sink your hips. You can bring connect your heels. Bring your heels towards your glutes. Take a little glance over the left shoulder. Take a little glance over the right shoulder. And then press back to child's pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, rise. Sink your hips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Tuck your chin. Now try to pull your shoulder blades down and lengthen through the crown of the head. You can look over one shoulder and over the other if that felt good on your neck. Look for that back heel. Tucking your chin as you're glancing around. And then slowly release back into child's pose. Take an inhale here. Lift your hips, roll over your toes. Downward facing dog. Bend one knee, drag the other heel down. Big bend in the knees. Haven't done a lot with the back of the body, so the hamstrings are probably pretty tight. So let's just keep it in the low back. Big bend in the knees. We'll take it out of the hamstrings. Walk your feet up behind your hands. Forward fold. Generous bends in the knees. Connect your belly to your thighs. Interlace your hands. Bring them to the back of your skull. And let your elbows be nice and heavy. Maybe sway from side to side. Nice neck stretch here. You can pull down with your hands slightly. Pull up with your skull and then release. Sway from side to side. Shake your head. Make some circles. Release your fingertips down to the mat. Slowly rise one vertebra at a time. Chin stays connected. Belly button pulls in. Slowly rise to stand. Good. Come to the top of your mat. Mountain pose. Palms face forward. Shoulders down. Belly in. Knit the low ribs in. No arch in the low back. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, open twist to the right. Let your hips go. So open to the right. Let your right hip go back and look over your back arm, your right hand. Inhale, arms up in front, and open twist to the left. Really open your wings. Drag your left shoulder down. Look back at your left thumb. Let that hip rotate back. And then inhale, arms up. Let's do the same thing. Open twist to the right, but this time tack your right hip forward. Slight bend in your knees. You'll have less range of motion. Drag the shoulders down. Pull the belly in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to the left. Left hip pulls forward. Open twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, mountain pose. Ground down through your left foot. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Bring your right thigh parallel to the ground. Lift your arms up overhead. Ground down through that left leg. Cactus arms. Arms are at a 90-degree angle, elbows. Twist to one side. Chin stays in line with the sternum. Ground down through that left leg. Find the base of the big toe. Twist to the other side. Hips stay forward. Come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, foot down, arms down. Ground down through the right leg. Inhale, one-legged mountain. I'll turn sideways. Thigh stays parallel to the ground. Dorsiflex that left ankle. Press down through the right leg. Bring the arms out like cactus arms. Palms face forward. Pull the elbows back so you can get them out of your peripheral vision. And first twist whatever direction you want. Twist in one way. Hips stay square. Other way. Come back to center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Arms down. Leg down. Feet down. Mountain pose. Palms face forward. Like someone is pulling on your fingertips. You're lifting up through the crown of your head and tucking your tailbone. Slight bend in the knees. So we're going to do eagle to a lunge. So inhale your arms up overhead. We're just going to do eagle arms. Bring your right arm underneath your left. See if you can connect your palms. If you can, dial your thumbs to the right and your pinkies to the left. If you can't, grab your shoulders wherever you can grab. Before we start to move, I want you to push your elbows away and then pull them in. Spreading through the shoulder blades and then squeezing the shoulder blades back together. Little scapula strengthening here, the muscles that, the serratus muscles in there. Great, so your right arm is underneath your left. You're gonna step back with your right leg. The back heel is high. And slowly begin to lift your elbows up towards the sky. Here's your inhale, and an exhale, come back down till the arms are parallel. Upper arms are parallel with the mat. Inhale. So nice big bend in the front leg. And scoot that front foot forward. Make sure that the knee doesn't go over the ankle here. Release your eagle. Rotate the back foot. So now we're in warrior feet. Generous bend in that front knee. Bring the left arm to the left thigh and reach the right arm up. Triangle pose. Try to bring the bottom shoulder under and the top shoulder back. Chin stays in line with the sternum. Generous bend front knee as much as you can to keep that back heel down. Bring your hand to your hip. Slowly rotate back to the front. Take a step to the top of the mat and we'll switch sides. So now we go to the left side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Eagle arm on the left. Sweep the left arm underneath the right. See if you can connect your palms and line your thumbs up with your forehead. Otherwise, you're grabbing opposite shoulders. We're going to do the push-pull here. Press the elbows away. Retract the shoulders. Push and pull. Big stretch through the shoulders. And walk that right foot slightly forward. Step back with the left foot. So we're in a nice high crescent lunge. Walk that front foot forward. Lift the elbows. I like to bring my thumbs right to my forehead. Inhale here. Exhale. Down. Inhale, you can exhale down as low as you want. And exhale down. Rotate the back foot. Get the back foot flat. Bring your forearm to the front thigh. So right forearm, right thigh lift and stretch. Reach the left arm up. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Rotate towards the front. Big step to the front of the mat. Mountain pose. Close your eyes, connect back with your breath. I'm going to slow your heart rate down a little bit. Big inhales, big exhales. So you're at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, big bend in the knees. Plant your hands and step back to plank. So we're going to do some scapular serratus push-ups here. So you can be on your forearms, you can be on your toes, or you can be on your knees. So let's have everybody come down onto your forearms. You're making a number 11 with your forearms, and you can lift up into plank. So nothing in the plank body moves. The only thing you're going to do is let your heart come down towards the mat, and then press from your fingers to your elbows. So you're just lowering your chest and lifting your chest. If this is hard for you, come down to your knees, lower your chest, and lift your chest. For a little bit more, you can come up onto high plank, lower, and lift. So my arms aren't bending. All I'm doing is squeezing my shoulder blades together and then pressing my hands and wrapping the shoulder blades forward. Good, come down to your knees, lower all the way down onto the mat. Bring your arms out like a T, scorpion. Roll over onto your right hip. Your right arm stays nice and long. Lift up your left leg. See if you can bring your foot down or your toes down. Head stays on the mat, ear stays on the mat. Bend your left elbow. Reach long through the right leg. Press down with the left foot if you can. So your right arm is out like a T. We're trying to stretch out the shoulder. If you're not feeling it, scoot it a little bit higher up towards going towards a wide position. Your arm is straight. Your hand is flat. Roll onto your belly. Let's go to the other side. So the left arm is out long. It's an extension of the shoulder. Palm is flat. Roll onto the left hip. Pick up your right foot. Try to flare the knee. Lengthen through the bottom leg on the inhale. Scoot that hand up and that arm up more towards a wide position to increase the stretch in the front of the shoulder. And then slowly lower down back onto your belly. Quick tabletop. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to your hands. Slowly rise to stand. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back. High plank. Let's just hold our plank. Your option here is to be in high plank. Other option is to be in forearm plank. Other option for both is to have your knees down on the mat. Wherever you are, I want you to focus on pressing through your elbows or your hands and doming through your spine, your shoulders without your hips lifting up. So squeeze your glutes, press your elbows, round through the upper back, relax your neck, gazes forward, and then slowly lower down onto your belly and extend your arms out in front like Superman. So we're gonna do a front shoulder stretch. Hop up onto your fingertips, your chin is on the mat, so that your arms lift completely up off the mat. And we'll do the right side first. So take your right arm and weave it palm face down underneath your left arm, and then take your chin and walk it all the way over to the right. And then try to let your shoulder, your left shoulder drop, let your left hip drop. So it's more of a neck stretch the more you look towards your right. Less of a neck stretch, you don't have to bring the neck into it at all. But the heavy chin on the top of the shoulder provides a nice big shoulder stretch. And if you can press down with the base of this thumb of the right hand, you'll feel more of a stretch. Relax your left hip and breathe. Slowly release, other side, arms out in front. Pop up, weave the left arm under, palm faces down. I like to take my chin and get it all the way over there to the left. And then let everything fall and sink and stretch. Close your eyes, connect to your breath. Heavy right hip, heavy right armpit. And slowly release. Press yourself back, quick child's pose. And press yourself up. So let's find a seated position. You can be on your knees, you can sit on your roller, whatever is comfortable. You can be cross-legged. We're gonna do some neck stretches and some more shoulder stretching. So let's just relax, palms face up on the thighs, sitting in a nice comfortable position, back is as straight as possible. So your tailbone is heavy, your shoulder blades are drawing back, and you're trying to bring your ears over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. Start with a neck stretch. Slowly let your right ear fall gently towards your right shoulder. Heavy left shoulder. Take your left arm and reach it out and bring your fingertips down towards the mat. They might not touch. Bring your right arm up, fingers towards the ear, providing a little bit of pressure on that neck stretch. Chin is off the chest. Slowly release the right hand, hands back to your lap, neck back up to neutral. So look to your right, first like you're looking over your shoulder, and then bring your chin down to your collarbone. Bring your right hand right over the top of your head to the back of your skull. You can press up slightly with the back of your head and pull down with your hand. Make sure you're not leaning forward. Try to keep a nice straight spine. And breathe here. You should feel a big stretch through the upper shoulder muscles, not necessarily in your neck here. Again, you can take that left arm and reach it out, maybe reach it back. Release the right arm, hands to the lap, lift the chin, chin forward, other side. Left ear searches for the left shoulder. Shoulder doesn't move up to the ear. As a matter of fact, I want you to drag your shoulders down, have them be heavy, like there's cement, 2 bags of cement right on top of your shoulders. Left arm, top of the head. Right arm long, fingertips hover or just touch the mat. Little press up with the head, little pull down with the hand, and then release. See if you get a little bit more range of motion. Slowly release the top hand and bring your head back up to neutral. Rest your hands on your lap. Look over your left shoulder. Chin stays parallel with the ground. Now drop the chin down to the collarbone. Stretch here. You can stay right here or increase the stretch by bringing the left hand to the back of the skull. Press up with the head, pull down with the hand. Release the push-pull every once in a while just to see if then you can find more range of motion and kind of simmer in that new stretch. Right arm extends. Draw that right shoulder down. Are you breathing? Hand to the lap. Release the left arm. Chin up. Chin forward. You can make some circles with your head. Get some crunchies. Look left, look right. Some quick shoulder stretches. Bring your right arm out. Palms faces forward. Bring that right arm across the chest and take your left arm and bring your elbow to the forearm and drop your right shoulder down. So what I want you to do is press your right arm into the left, like 10-20% of pressure, and then release it and see if you can bring the arm further across your body. And then slowly release. And then bring that right arm out in front. So your arm is long, your palm is facing up, and you're gonna bend your elbow. And bring the back of the hand like you're patting yourself on your back. Now we're gonna do Gomukhasana. We're gonna break it into 2. You're welcome to combine them both, and you're also welcome to sit in a seated position and bring one knee over and stack your knees here, as long as you can sit up nice and tall. So you're gonna take your left hand and press your elbow up. So what we don't wanna do is we don't wanna flare the elbow out to the side, and spider crawl the fingers down your back. So I'm gonna press my right elbow into my hand about 20%, and I'm gonna release and see if I can get a little bit more range of motion here. Sitting up nice and tall, try not to lean forward. A little press forward with the elbow, and then I'm gonna see if I can pull the elbow back a little bit more. I want your armpit facing me, not facing out. Knit your low ribs in, and then slowly release. Now if you want to stay up there and bring the other arm around, you can. We're just gonna work one side unilaterally. So take that right arm, bring it out, palm faces back. Now internally rotate your shoulder like we sort of did on the roller and the ball in the beginning. So you're gonna roll it forward and then bend your elbow and scoop your back of your hand up your back. So we're not gonna use we don't have any props here. If you want, you can bring the other arm up if you wanna connect your hands. Otherwise, we're just gonna work on this front shoulder stretch. I'm gonna press my right forearm into my ribs and my ribs slightly back into my forearm. And I'm just gonna release and see if I can wiggle my fingers a little bit higher up. And then I'm gonna pull my ribs back, press my forearm slightly forward. This is a big stretch. And then slowly release, unwind that. If you had your legs crossed in Gomukhasana, lower body, then you want to switch sides, and let's go to the other side. Bring your left arm out, palm faces forward. Bring that arm all the way across the body. Take your right elbow to stabilize it. Now drag that left shoulder down. Press the forearm into the elbow and then release and pull and see if you can bring the arm across just a little bit more. 2 more breaths. No shoulder shrugging. And slowly release. So bring the left arm out in front, palm faces up. Arm is an extension of the shoulder. Bend the elbow and bring your wrist right by your ear, and then bring your fingertips to the back of your shoulder like you're patting yourself on the back. Like, good job, good job. Take your right hand, bring it to the elbow, pull the elbow straight up. Back of the arm faces forward, armpit faces forward. Press your elbow into your hand, like 20% pressure. And then release that pressure and see if you can walk your fingertips down your back just a little bit more. Remember, a couple things to think about. Press the back of your head back. Sit up nice and tall, drag your shoulder blades down. Belly button pulls into the spine, knit the low ribs in, no arching of the back. Slowly release. Left arm is out, palm faces back. Internally rotate the shoulder like you're trying to pull it forward towards me. Bend your elbow, bring the back of the hand. You can even use the other hand here to kind of see if you can get the back of your hand as far up, palm facing the back wall. Now pull your ribs back, press your forearm slightly forward, tuck your chin, heart's forward, chin is back. And slowly release. Unwind your legs, come to a standing position. For dancer's pose, bring your legs together. We're nice and opened up here. Ground down through your left foot. Your right hand is glued to your side. Your palm is facing out. You're going to pick up your right foot from the inside. So don't internally rotate. You want to externally rotate that shoulder. Grab on here, connect the knees. Lift your left arm up overhead. This might be your stretch right here. You want to really focus on the shoulder here. We're going to think upward facing dog with the upper body. So the right hip comes forward as you kick gently into the back hand and feel the shoulder stretch on the right side. And then lift the left arm up. And get the full extension of your kick. And the option is to hinge forward, palm faces down, right hip down. Release that top shoulder, let the shoulder go. Reach and pull like you're pulling a bow and arrow, and then slowly release and come up. We're gonna do the other side. Ground down through the right leg. Left palm faces out. Bend your left knee, pick up your left foot from the inside, and then connect your knees. Connecting your knees is a good way to start. So you can stay right here if this is enough of a shoulder stretch for you. Reach the right arm up. Chin stays up. So slowly begin to kick, but the hip stays forward. Be sure not to lock out the right leg, but it's almost completely straight. So first you're going to get your full extension. Kick and pull, reach high with the right arm, and then palm faces down. Bow pulling posture, you're pulling back. Left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. Drop the hip, and slowly release and come up. And arms down. And come down onto your mat and onto your belly for half locust pose. So rock your body from side to side and get your arms underneath your body with your palms facing down. Your chin is on the mat like you're going to bump a volleyball. If your shoulders are really tight, your arms might be along your sides. Just make sure the palms are facing down. If you can, wiggle your body from side to side. Get your palms, get your pinkies to touch. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Take a nice big inhale, exhale. We're going to start with the right leg first. Press your left hip down into your left forearm. Press your right hip down into your right forearm. and then lift your right leg up. Point your toes, be the longest right leg in the room. Rotate your shoulders forward. Breathing, lengthening through the leg, rolling the shoulders forward, slowly release, other side. Ground down through the right leg. Top of the right foot presses down. Now reach long through the left leg. Press your hands down. Lift the left leg as high as you can without losing the connection of the hip on the forearm. And then slowly release. Bring your arms out from underneath your body. Palms face down, arms out like airplane wings. One tail like a cobra. Take a nice big inhale, exhale. Now lift everything up. Chin is down, lengthen through the crown of the head. You can separate your legs, point your toes, lift with the backs of the hands up, lift, 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 and then slowly release. Bend your knees, swing your legs around. We'll do a final bridge pose, and then we'll be ready for Shavasana. So lower yourself down onto your back. And first we'll do a twist. Bring your right leg over your left, like eagle legs. You can even wrap those toes down. Arms are out like a T. Drop your hip, drop your knees over to the left. See if you can keep both shoulders down on the mat. Other option is to let the shoulder come up and bring the knees all the way down to the mat. You'll feel a totally different stretch in the front of the shoulder. And release. And unwind. Crush your left thigh over your right. You can pop the toes back behind the calf if that feels good. And drop your hips to the right. Drop your knees to the right. Maybe looking over to the left. You can take that right hand and bring it on top of the knee to encourage more of a twist. Inhale. Exhale and release. Quick bridge pose. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat. Walk your shoulder blades together so you're kind of puffing up through your heart. And then squeeze your triceps and your backs of your arms down and slightly together. Lift your hips, make sure your knees are tracking forward, and see if you can interlace your hands underneath your body. So you're squeezing an imaginary ball in between your knees. Knees aren't falling out, knees aren't falling in. Press your knees forward and squeeze that imaginary ball. Release your pinkies and see if you can get your pinky fingers. See if you can get your heels of your palms together. Squeeze your hands together. Lift 1 inch higher. Keep walking your shoulder blades together. Keep your chin right in line with your chest. Do not look left. Do not look right. Squeeze through your heels. Lift. Draw the belly in. And then slowly release. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Quick happy baby, elbows on the insides of the knees. Hands can be either on the inner arch or outer part of the feet. If the ceiling was going to come down, you'd make a perfect footprint. So you want to dorsiflex your ankles, press your elbows out. Pull your knees in. You can rock from side to side and get a little lower body stretch here. Bring the soles of your feet together. Clasp your hands. Knees are wide. Pull your heels in towards your glutes. Release your grip. Bring the outer edges of your feet down onto the mat. In butterfly, cobbler, Supta Baddha Konasana. Drag your shoulder blades, draw them slightly more together, palms face up. You've made it to Shavasana. So you can stay here in cobbler. You can extend your legs out long. If your roller is nearby, you can bring the roller back under your neck if that felt good. Or you can bring your roller under